It starts in a room most people will never see. Dim lights, glass walls, and a city that never sleeps glowing in the background. A group of executives sit around a table worth more than what most people earn in a year. No noise, no chaos, just one simple question on the table. How do we stay rich forever? Because here's the truth. Making money is easy, but staying rich? That's where the real game begins. Most people think big companies win because they work harder. But that's not true. They win because they play a completely different game. A game hidden from the public. A game built on one powerful idea. Control. Not just money. Not just products. But control over how people think, what they buy, and even what they believe they need. Look around you. Why do you trust certain brands without thinking twice? Why do you feel something is premium even before you try it? That's not luck. That's strategy. The kind of strategy billion-dollar companies spend years perfecting. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. Because the richest companies in the world don't just sell products. They build systems. Systems that make sure money keeps flowing to them, again and again, forever. And it all starts with one invisible move. A move so simple, yet so powerful, that it separates normal businesses from empires. That invisible move is something most people completely ignore. They don't sell once. They design it so you can never stop buying. Think about it. The richest companies don't depend on one-time customers. They build something far more powerful. Dependence. Not forced, not obvious, but subtle, almost invisible. You don't even realize when it happens. One day you try a product. Next day, it becomes a habit. And before you know it, it becomes part of your life. That's not coincidence. That's engineered. Because real power in business isn't in making a sale. It's in making sure the customer keeps coming back again and again, without thinking. And once that loop is created, the company doesn't chase money anymore. Money starts chasing them. But this is just the surface. Because the real elites don't stop at dependence. They go one level deeper. They create perception. A simple product turned into a status symbol. A normal item turned into a dream. Suddenly, people aren't buying because they need it. They're buying because it makes them feel powerful, respected, different. And that's where the game changes completely. Because when people buy with emotions, price no longer matters. Logic disappears. And loyalty becomes unbreakable. That's why some brands can charge 10x more and still have people waiting in line. Not for the product, but for what it represents. But even that isn't the deepest layer. Because the real elites don't just create dependence. And they don't just control perception. They control the game itself. Think about it. Most businesses are busy competing, fighting for customers, lowering prices, running ads, chasing trends. But the richest companies, they don't compete. They position themselves where competition becomes irrelevant. By building something no one else can easily copy. Not just a product, but an entire ecosystem. A world where everything connects. Where if you enter once, leaving becomes difficult, almost uncomfortable. You buy one thing, it works best with their other product. That product connects to another service. And suddenly, you're locked inside a system, perfectly designed to keep you there. Not by force, but by convenience. Because leaving would mean starting over, learning again, losing comfort. And humans hate that. That's why these companies don't worry about losing customers. Because they've already built invisible walls around them. Walls made of habit, ease, and smart design. And here's the craziest part. Most people inside these systems don't even realize they're in one. They think it's their choice. But in reality, the choice was designed for them. And now, we reach the level most people never even think about. Because the ultimate strategy isn't just about customers. It's about time. While normal businesses think in days, weeks, maybe months, elite companies think in years, decades, even generations. They don't ask, how do we make money today? They ask, how do we make sure money keeps coming 10 years from now? And that changes everything. Because when you think long-term, you stop chasing trends, and you start creating them. You invest in things that don't give instant results. But once they grow, they become impossible to replace. Brand trust. Global presence. Market dominance. Slow at first, but unstoppable later. And here's where it gets even more powerful. They don't just follow the market. They shape it. Prices rise. They adjust before anyone else. New trend appears. They either buy it or become it. Competition grows. They don't fight. They acquire. Piece by piece. They absorb threats before they become dangerous. So from the outside, it looks like success. But behind the scenes, it's pure strategy. Calculated. Patient. Relentless. And this is why, even when markets crash, even when trends change, these companies don't fall. They adapt. They survive. And most importantly, they stay rich. But there's one final layer. The layer that quietly controls everything else. Ownership. Because the richest companies don't just sell products. They don't just build ecosystems. They own the platforms where everything happens. Think about it. Where do people search? Where do they shop? Where do they spend their time? The companies at the top are not just part of the system. They are the system. And once you own the platform, you don't just earn from customers. You earn from everyone. Every business that joins pays you. Every creator that grows depends on you. Every transaction flows through you. It's no longer business. It's power. Because now, you're not playing inside someone else's game. You're writing the rules. And here's the scary part. Even your competitors might still be using your platform, helping you grow without realizing it. That's why the richest companies don't focus on short-term profit alone. They focus on becoming unavoidable, so that no matter what happens, no matter who rises, no matter who falls, they remain at the center, always earning, always growing, always ahead. And when you combine everything, dependence, perception, ecosystems, long-term thinking, and ownership, you don't just build a business, you build an empire. And now, you see the truth. The richest companies in the world don't win by chance. They don't rely on luck. They don't chase quick success. They build systems. Systems that control behavior, shape perception, lock in customers, and think far beyond today. That's the real difference. While most people are trying to make money, they're building machines that make money for them. Again, and again, and again. And here's the biggest lesson. You don't need billions to think like this. You just need to start asking a different question. Not, how can I earn money today? But, how can I create something that people keep coming back to? Because the moment you understand that, you stop being part of the system, and you start building your own. So next time you see a big brand, don't just look at what they're selling. Look at what they're building behind the scenes. Because that's where the real power is. If this opened your mind even a little, make sure you like the video and subscribe for more powerful business stories like this. Because the next one